Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a Sims 2 speed build. Now, I haven't done a Sims 2 speed build on the channel in, honestly, I don't even know how many months it's been. I don't even know if I've done one this year, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, we're back in The Sims 2 and we're actually going to be building a apartment building. So there was a little bit of a roundabout reason for why I decided to build this specific apartment building and why I wanted to do it in The Sims 2. But just to like give you guys the quick, or I'm gonna try and do it quickly, like abbreviated version of the reason, is because a couple of days ago, probably I think sometime last week, I was talking on Twitter with Sim Guru Ash, and I don't know how how the conversation started, but basically we were talking about how the Sims 2 apartment system worked and how great the apartment system was in the Sims 2 because you could build your own apartments. You could actually go in and build your own apartment buildings. You weren't restricted to shells the way you are in The Sims 4 and to some extent in The Sims 3. So basically the Sims 2 apartment system is kind of like the most versatile one out of all of the Sims games basically. And we started talking about how, you know, I've used this system not only for apartments, like actual apartments, I've used it for townhouses, especially in my custom neighborhood that I'm building. I have like a whole street of townhouses. And, you know, I'm using it for other things like duplexes and, you know, like basically like building two separate houses on one lot. I use the apartment system for that. I have a couple of builds where I have it set up as like rooms. Like your Sims can just rent a room and the rest of the building is like communal space. Kind of like for, you know, for example, for like, I don't know, like college students or, you know, Sims that just graduated college. Maybe they don't have a lot of money. They just go in and they rent a room because it's cheaper than having a whole house or having a whole apartment. So yeah, we were talking about that basically, and it really made me want to both play The Sims 2 but also build another apartment building. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, but building apartment buildings is like one of the most fun things to do. I think personally I love it. I love it so much. I love it more than I like building houses because basically you have this big thing, you can make it huge, you don't have to make it small, and you can make it huge and you can have all of these different apartments where you have different layouts or you have similar layouts. You can kind of like, you can do a lot of it, a lot like with it basically. So that made me want to build an apartment. And also because I haven't done a Sims 2 build in a while, I figured, you know, why not? I was just going to do this for myself, for my like own personal gameplay, because I have been playing The Sims 2 a little bit more like recently, the past maybe like week or so. I've been playing a little bit of The Sims 2. I've been playing with my rotational save, like my Pleasantview playthrough basically. I play it like rotationally, and I've been doing that, and I've been needing a new apartment building for my Sims to move into, and I was just going to build this for myself, and then I remembered that conversation and I thought, you know what, let's go ahead, turn this into a speed build and see what you guys think about it. Because recently I haven't really done any building in The Sims 2 apart from the builds that I've done for my custom neighborhood. So this was kind of like basically something that I haven't posted in a while. I haven't just gone into The Sims 2 and done a build just for the sake of it. Recently it's all been very like, I guess, task oriented or theme oriented for that specific neighborhood that I'm working on. So yeah, just doing this has been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice, I don't know, it was just a nice thing to kind of get my mind off of other thits and all of that stuff. And I have been having a little bit of a hard time recently. If you guys follow me over on Twitter, you know all about that, or on Discord. But it's been a difficult couple of weeks especially. And August is a very difficult month for me because it would have been my mom's birthday month. So yeah, it's a very difficult emotional month for me. It's the first year where she's not here anymore. So I've been having a little bit of a slump with videos and creativity wise and all of that stuff. So I've been having a little bit of like, I guess not really builder's block, because I have a lot of ideas. I just haven't had the motivation to do any of them. But yeah, this has been kind of a nice change, I guess you could say, where it's kind of taken me, it's just been different than, you know, constantly being focused on The Sims 4, and it's been nice having something else to kind of focus on. So yeah, I hope you guys like how this build turned out. Now, that was kind of the reason why I decided to do this build. But this build itself does have custom content, obviously, because all of my Sims 2 builds have custom content. But I do only use custom content where you're allowed to upload the build with the custom content, like according to the creator's terms of use. So I only use creators' stuff where they're okay with doing that, and I always leave all of their names and sites and Tumblrs and stuff listed in the description. I have a document linked in all of my Sims 2 video descriptions that's titled something like Sims 2 Master List or something like that, where I have all of the CC creators that I use. I have all of their names and their sites like Tumblrs, websites, all of that stuff for them. I have all of that linked in that list, but I also have all of the other, like, kind of more like mod stuff that I use, like the OMSB shelves. I don't use any of them in this build, but I usually use them, like the OMSB shelves. I have all of the build cheats as well that I use when I build, because a lot of times I'll have people ask me, you know, how am I rotating stuff on like a 45-degree angle? How am I placing stuff off of the grid? Or how am I placing stuff on like quarter tiles? And, you know, stuff like that. And I have all of those cheats listed in that document as well, because it's a lot of cheats. There's like, I use a lot of cheats when I build, including move objects, you know, all of that stuff. And that document kind of just like streamlines the process instead of me having to explain it in every video. It kind of just lists it all out, and it makes it really easy to read, and, you know, you can just copy the cheats over if you want to do that. So yeah, definitely go ahead, check that out. But basically, this build, like I said, does use custom content, but it's a 20 by 20 lot, so it's fairly small. It's like a small square lot, and I'm actually building 6 different studio apartments. Now, I didn't furnish any of these apartments, like, for any particular Sims, because like I said, it's not for my custom neighborhood. So usually when I do apartment builds, I do it for my custom neighborhood, so I'll have like at least 1 or 2 Sims in mind for the apartments that I have in any particular building. So I'll like go in and I'll detail those apartments for those particular Sims. But in this case, I'm going to be using it for my Pleasantview playthrough, which means that I didn't really want to go in and detail any of the apartments. I do furnish all of them though. So I furnished all of the bathrooms. They have everything they need. I furnished all of the apartments themselves as well. But I tried to keep it as basic and as, I guess you could say, impersonal as I possibly could, as I possibly could. So I tried to I used the same kitchen appliances in all of the apartments. A couple of them have a different stove, so I kind of like, I used 2 different stoves, but they all have the same counters, the same fridge. They all have, you know, the same bathroom stuff, the same sinks, you know, all of that stuff. And then I also went in and I put in other items. So I have beds in all of them, TVs, I have computers and dining tables, and at least 1 couch in all of them. So I just did that because when you play on an apartment lot in The Sims 2, obviously your Sims rent 1 apartment, and then the game will go in and populate the other apartments with townies. So I wanted the other apartments to also have stuff in them, so that if you have townies living in them, they actually have stuff to use, and they won't just be stuck with a completely empty apartment. Because, I don't know, I felt bad thinking about it, like, oh, my Sim is going to live in this really nicely decorated apartment, and their neighbors are going to not even have a toilet, or, you know, a fridge or a bed. So I wanted to do that. And this also makes it really easy for you guys if you download this build and you want to move your Sims into an apartment. You don't have just 1 apartment that's furnished that you have to use. You can use any of them. You can move them into any of these apartments, and they'll already have all of the necessary furniture. And then obviously you can go in, completely redecorate it if you want, or maybe just change up the colors, or, you know, keep the placement of all of the objects, keep the layout, but just change up some of the items. That's something that you can then really easily do, and it already gives you kind of an idea of, you know, where you could place certain things and where I would have placed certain things and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to do because personally I find that always really helpful, especially when I'm working with small spaces. Sometimes it's really difficult for me to work with a smaller space because I don't necessarily know where I want to put stuff. So already having that kind of like, I guess, guide in a way to where maybe like the creator would have put stuff, I always find that really like useful personally if I download smaller builds. So I figured, you know, why not do it? And also it made this video a little bit more interesting because otherwise it would have been like, I don't know, maybe like 3 minutes of me doing the exterior, because the exterior is very basic. I wanted it to look very much more on the budget side of things. I didn't want it to be super fancy. So obviously it's also studio apartments, so they're all basically like one big room, and then they all have their own separate bathrooms, but it's all basically just one big room. So it's not like the apartments themselves are super big. So yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, it would have just been like 3 minutes of the exterior. Very basic, very much like the exterior is supposed to look a little bit cheaper. Like I said, like it's a little bit more in a budget area. And it also is supposed to look a little bit more like a newer build. So it's not like it hasn't been here for like 20 years is what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, it wasn't a very detailed exterior basically. And if I were only to do like one apartment, the video would have been like, I don't know, maybe like 8 minutes long, because yeah, like I said, the apartments aren't all that big, so I couldn't really go ham with like clutter even if I wanted to. So yeah, I don't know, I like this. It makes it very functional, it makes it very playable as well. I did playtest all of this. I playtested the entire apartment before I uploaded it, so yeah, it is completely fine and all of that stuff, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. Luckily, I didn't have to change anything with any of the apartments, layout wise or item wise, to make them functional. So that was great. It saved me quite a bit of time. But yeah, so it's all play tested, all of that stuff. It all works. It's uploaded as an apartment. So yeah, you can download it, I want to say the tray files because that's what I'm used to saying for The Sims 4, but it's technically a Sims 2 pack file. But yeah, you download that, you install it, all of that stuff, and then you'll have it in your game and you can place it down. So yeah, super easy, super like easy to use. It shouldn't like corrupt your game or anything like that, because I didn't have a sim on the lot when I built this, so it's completely safe to download, all of that stuff. So yeah, feel free to go ahead, do that. I will have the download link in the description as always. I have all of my Sims 2 builds up on Google Drive, which I have all of the download links in those video descriptions as well. So yeah, definitely go ahead, check that out. But yeah, that is basically everything about this apartment, you guys. Like you can see, I am furnishing all of the apartments, but I'm not putting any like personality really into them. I'm not putting up any artwork. I do put maybe like one plant in each apartment just because it looks so sad without a plant. So I try to put at least one plant in every apartment. And then I am also kind of like, I guess, almost color coding them a little bit. So I tried to swap out the beds. I used 3 different beds, and I use 2 of them. Basically, there's 6 apartments. I use each bed twice, but I do change up the bedspreads and the bed frame color, all of that stuff, to just make it look a little bit personalized without making it look too personalized, if that makes sense. And I am color coding the apartments a little bit as well. So upstairs we have one that's a little bit more bluish. We have a black and white one, and then we also have orange one upstairs. And then downstairs we have one that we're working on right now that's a little bit more like yellow orange. We have the middle one that's a little bit more orange and somewhat purple. And then we have the one on the left hand of, technically the right, if you look at the build from the front, that's very purple. So basically I color coded them. So yeah, we have that. But like I said, they're all basically the exact same. They have the exact same things in them, just different like variations of it basically. And they all also have their own balconies as well. So the ones downstairs have their own balconies, and the ones upstairs also have their own balconies, and that totally works. They all have their own grills as well, so each one has a grill. They have a little outdoor dining space, but they all have indoor dining spaces and full kitchens and bathrooms and all of that stuff too. So yeah, all super like playable. Like I said, all play tested, everything works and all of that fun stuff. But yeah, the rent for all of these apartments, I believe, is between 560 something and 640 simoleons a week. So they're very cheap. There is a way where you can rent apartments with the furniture. Usually if you rent an apartment in The Sims 2, it won't come with anything in it. It might come, I think it comes with the bathroom stuff, I think. In the base game, I think it comes with the bathroom stuff and maybe the kitchen counters. But I know there is a way, both through a mod as well as through a cheat, where you can click on an apartment door and it will give you the option to rent the apartment fully furnished. And basically that means that your Sims will pay for the furniture in the apartment. So it's kind of like having them move into a house. They buy the house, they buy the furniture on the lot. It kind of works like that. So the rent doesn't go up any. The rent isn't more expensive every week, but the first kind of like time that you move into it, you will need to have all of the money to afford the furniture on it as well. So that is also why I try to keep these apartments a little bit more on the cheaper side as well for the furniture wise. I tried not to go super expensive with all of that stuff. But I will have I'll have like a Mod The Sims link down below, where like a tutorial on how to rent apartments furnished. If that's something that you guys don't know how to do, I'll try and see if I can find a YouTube video about it that explains it a little bit better than I did. But yeah, if that's something you don't know how to do, like I said, I will try and leave a link in the description to a tutorial, whether it's written or a video or whatever. I'll try and leave a link to a tutorial on how to do that. I think I've explained it in some of my previous apartment builds as well, but honestly I cannot remember. It's been a while, like I said. And yeah, so that is basically everything about this build, you guys. I mean, I also want to apologize if I sound a little bit more out of breath than normal. I am sick yet again with a cold, so I am a little bit more short of breath. So yeah, I haven't recorded a video in a while, so I'm also very rambly. It's been a while since I've recorded a voiceover, so yeah, things have just been very hectic. But again, like I said, if you follow me over on Twitter, you already know all about that. I'll also probably do a community tab post at some point explaining stuff a little bit better as well. But yeah, if you want to download this build, like I said, all of that information and download link, all of that stuff in the description as always. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give the video a like. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more Sims 2 speed builds as well as Sims 4 speed builds, because those are the ones that I do most often, then feel free to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. And I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my amazing channel members as well. Your support truly means the world to me, and I love you guys so much. And also, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, like I said, my social media links, Twitter, Threads, all of that stuff is in the description of all of my videos. I also have a Discord server that is linked in all of my videos as well. But with all of that said, we're gonna go ahead and jump on into the screenshots. I am doing screenshots for this because it is a Sims 2 video and I'm feeling nostalgic, so no tour but screenshots. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you in my very next video. Bye everyone.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.